Do you know what you're really earning? Do you know what you're really buying? Well, that's what we're going to be fearlessly questioning this week by fearlessly questioning hating money with Deborah Tuttenauer. And I tell you what, so this is obviously anytime you put the word money in a headline, it's obviously a little bit, I mean, money, when you just kind of say it, people kind of get squeamish one way or the other, whether it's sleazy, whether it's whatever. But I had the pleasure of meeting Deborah at Social Media Marketing World back in March of 2014, and she took home the distinguished honor of the most impressive person that I didn't expect to meet there. By that I mean, if you've ever gone to any of these conferences, there's I guess I can say depression that sinks in. The more conversations I have with a lot of the people that are there, unless I'm just catching a really bad group of people. But a lot of people are there on their company's dime, and they're just kind of going through the motions. And me being an insurance agent by day, I'm not really a trained marketing person. Social media marketing was a marketing conference, but I ended up talking to them more about marketing than they do telling me about marketing, and it's a little depressing. And that's I guess I will mention this in a little more lighter fashion to Deborah when we actually do the live show. But she held the distinguished honor of somebody that I didn't expect to meet, and I had a conversation with, and she's like, man, really knows what she's doing. She knows what she's talking about, and has ambition, goals, and really gets it. And so that was refreshing. So that it was nice to have that kind of experience first off, which doesn't happen all that often. And I knew we would do something down the road in some form or fashion. I wasn't quite sure what. And we had connected a couple months ago and had a conversation, and we were talking about this whole idea of how we both kind of originally started out not really liking money. And by what I mean not liking money, more of the artistic kind of, me from my music background. I'm not quite sure. Deborah was not, I asked her, she wasn't in any sort of creative background from what I understand, more of an academic background. But, just the idea that, money is the root of all evil for her. I know she said that to me a couple of times, is kind of how she used to think. I just thought that, money would just show up if your work is good enough. If you bring the people, if you have an audience, the money's just going to show up. It's going to present itself, and maybe part of that is true. I don't think so. Anyways, but it seems like it seems like we both have come to make peace with what role money is supposed to play in our lives, and I think that a lot of us just don't know exactly what it's ultimately for. And I was just watching. This is honestly like 20 minutes before I'm recording this. I was finishing watching. It took me about a day. I started yesterday afternoon. I was watching Lewis House's. Is that the right plural of his last name? Lewis. There's a lot of S's. Lewis House's latest podcast of the School of Greatness. He had Scooter Braun on, and he was talking about people not understanding the true value of money or what it's really for. Very great episode. I just shared it on Google Plus. If you want to go ahead and check that out, I would recommend watching that. It was really good. But it's really what we're going to be talking about is the idea of hating money and not fully understanding what money is supposed to do for you. And I was listening to another podcast a while back, and I honestly don't remember what podcast it was. I don't even remember who the guest was. Maybe Pat Flynn, Smart Passive Income. Maybe. That's probably wrong, though. But the person on there said, what money doesn't buy stuff. Money buys choices. It buys freedom. And that really changed things for me when I heard that, because even before that, I started to say, well, if money is a game, why can't I be good at it? I like to play video games. I played sports growing up. I was very competitive. I like to, understand the concepts of a game, get good at it, and at least, win to some extent. And to view, Tony Robbins, I think, just released a new book with something, with a title similar to that. And so that's kind of the approach that I've been having. It's like, if money's a game, why can't I win at it? Because I like to win at a bunch of other games, so why not win at this game called money? And this is all sorts. This is all sort of the stuff that we're going to get into with Deborah. But ultimately, back to the whole money buys choices thing. What that means is focusing on more on experience as opposed to stuff. Um, if you wanted to, just not work and spend time, whether it's 3 months, 6 months, whatever it is, like if money was not the issue, if you weren't constantly worrying about money, it buys you the choice to do those things, to take time off to spend with your family, to fly across country to do something, to see a relative. It gives you the ability to make those choices, and I don't think we look at it that way. We're chasing the stuff, the new car, the new hardwood floors in your house. We're putting new hardwood floors in our house, but that's besides the point. I'm staring at like 28 boxes right here off camera. But you're chasing those things. Is that really what you should want or need? For me personally, just to explain the hardwood floor things, I mean, we're doing it because our son has allergies and the carpet downstairs in our house is attracting stuff and it irritates their skin. The things you do for your kids. But why are you doing things and what are you doing them for? I think is really the understanding, and it goes all the way on the other opposite end of the spectrum of, well, do you love money too much? Is that the only thing you care about? Are you driven by money? I've always said to people I've never been driven by money. That's been my biggest. It's been, I guess it's the single greatest weakness and the single greatest strength, I guess, of me personally. If I'm going to psychoanalyze myself in front of you, but it's. What is if it's your driving factor, then you can be consumed with it all the way too much on the other end. I think that's what is fascinating about this, because hating it also turns into loving it, and we're going to try and kind of address it, because that it really talks to both people, both sides of that argument. While we're going to share our experience hating it, it goes to the other side of, if you are that person that loves it, why do you love it? I would venture to guess to say that most people, 9 out of 10, whatever fake statistic I want to give to you, I don't really have real statistics. Whatever that person is that says they love money, most of those people, I'm going to say, probably don't love it for the right reasons. And it was just an interesting conversation that I wanted to have, and that's why Deborah is on the show today, to talk about fearlessly questioning hating money. Now, I did want to go off on a little bit of a tangent, a little bit of a side rant today as well. I was thinking about it, leading up to recording this, and if I had anything that I kind of wanted to just kind of, talk about. And, the more I do the shows, and the more people talk to me about, what they're working on in their business and their life, and fearlessly questioning that, and even my experience in my family's business, we get so fixated on what we do and how we do it that we whether it's subconsciously or consciously, but we unintentionally rule out so many options. We think we have, like, again, let's take insurance as an example. We think, okay, well, that's our family agency. We have to figure out a way to sell insurance within these confines of being a small family agency. Well, no. We can do so many different things. It's like, yeah, this was our family business, but, you want to keep continuing to evolve and change. I guess the two biggest themes for me this year, as far as it relates to money, is scalability and multiple streams, or avenues. I guess revenue streams, you could say. And I take this page from James. It's not really a book, but his, he's mentioned it in emails and blog posts and things like that. But James Altucher says, it was really when he started to try a bunch of different things that he started to have success, because he was just trying a bunch of different things. Some of them worked, some of them didn't work. So oftentimes we want to just try one thing and we let it work or not work for so long that nothing else is going. So that's where, for me, I want to try a bunch of different things. Obviously, fearlessly questioning is one of them. Doing my work within insurance is another, and then really just try a couple other different things and really see what works. And you need to do this. And again, coming back to the whole scalability, you need to do this in a way that it doesn't compromise the core of your time that is dedicated to the thing that does put the food on the table. But understanding those other areas where there's opportunity to put a couple hours into something, and to plant a seed to see if it's going to grow. And are you looking for those things? Are you lining those things up? Are you trying to find something like that to where, it might even be completely unrelated to what you're doing right now, but you've got a couple hours, whether it's on the weekend, it doesn't matter. Whatever it is, do you know somebody that needs help doing something that you have a little experience in or interested in that can, be turned into something more that doesn't require a ton of your time, that you can come in and do some work, go home, get out, and not be a slave to the grind of whatever business that is. And what drives me nuts too is when you kind of talk this way, at least I see it from the older generation, we'll call it working in my family's business. And, that has the perception of being lazy or not working hard enough, but it's that mindset that I think a lot of us still have that we're learning from that generation of we view that as not working hard enough when it's really we're just working more smart or working smarter. And that's you hear it again. This is stuff that has been repeated, so I'm sure you've heard it before. But, it drives me nuts when people kind of have that view of it. It's like, well, you're just trying to do as little work as possible. Well, no, I'm trying to figure out what work, is the most essential that needs to be done, and then can ultimately continue to create and grow itself, putting something in motion. I guess think of it this way. How many little tops can you spin at once and then kind of leave them all spinning and keep them spinning, if you will? That's I guess maybe the way that I look at it as, it's like, it's not like I don't want to spend all my time spinning one top, and keep spinning it when there's 5 or 6 other ones I could spin at the same time and get the same results. So that's, I think, something that, people are just not being creative enough in thinking about ways to, build up and diversify. So, you put in so much time into that one thing, that one job, that one career, if it's a family business, if it's whatever, and it's just marginally successful or barely successful or not successful at all. And you keep continuing to just push on that thing. And consistency is important. I've heard people like John Jantsch talk about the importance of showing up every day for a long time. I think that there is also a great deal of importance to that. I just think you need to pick what that thing is, and you can do that. But also, like I said, have these things going on the side so you can kind of shift in and out of that. And the goal is because, while you're grinding at that main thing, other things are going to help. If you can get something else in to offset that, if you can make a couple extra $100 doing this thing or that thing, or consulting this or consulting that, or whatever it is, it's going to give you confidence because you're going to have these little successes. It's going to make you feel more confident in your current business or whatever it is that you're doing, the primary business. And it's going to give you that time and that flexibility and that freedom to maybe stay in the game long enough, as I like to say, to have enough at-bats to be successful, to have enough at-bats to hit that home run. And that's all you're asking for. That's all you can really ask for, is to give yourself enough at-bats. And if you're only playing for one team, then you're only going to get as many at-bats as that team plays. Now, if you can obviously play for multiple teams, then you're going to get more at-bats. This could be a terrible strategy. By no means am saying that this is a proven thing. This is just something that is on my mind that I thought I would share with you today. So feel free to set it on fire if you think it's not something that is going to work. But it's what I'm going to be focusing on for the most part of 2015 to see how it works. I guess I'll let you know next year if I was right or not. But that is it for this week. I'm going to get out of here. We're going to be back this Thursday. What's the date? Let me look real quick. It's January 22nd. January 22nd, that's a Thursday. 2 p.m. Eastern, we will be live. So come back to the live show if you want to be part of that awesome group of people. Ask questions, jump in the hangout with us. Or you obviously can catch the recording in iTunes or Stitcher. That goes up every Friday morning. So feel free to do that. And while you're there, if you haven't subscribed or leave a rating or review, those are the two things that I would like. If you could help us out, rating review would be fantastic. I would love you forever. Maybe take care of your firstborn child. That's negotiable. Maybe the second. I don't know. We'll talk about it if you do leave that rating and review. But feel free to get over to fearlesslyquestioning.com/subscribe to get to all the different places to stay connected with us, to never miss another Fearless Question. So that's it. I will remove myself from your life today. Hopefully you're having a good one. I will catch you guys on the next one. Take it easy, everybody.